Hello. Today, at least for right now, I'm filming in my living room because it's not hot in here and it has the best lighting in the house. If my father gets home, I'm going to have to move. That might be a little awkward, but hey, it's just how it has to be. So, today's video is gonna be intense. There's probably gonna be lots of unpopular opinions because let me tell you, I was ripped apart on Facebook already. God, I don't even know where to start. I am losing faith in humanity. Like, I explained some of that in my last video, but everything has just become a fucking shit show. Like, I'll get into why, but my brain is just broken right now. So I was on Facebook, and sorry, I might have to click to Facebook now and then to get read. But I was on Facebook, and I found this picture of a little girl, and she was wearing a bandana top, ripped up jeans, and she had big old hoop earrings in her ears. And someone wrote, hold on a second, let me find it. The person who had it on their page said, if you can look at this sweet, innocent child and see sexuality in any way, you are just fucking sick. You gotta go. And I wrote in response, just no. Do not dress your child like this. Even if you despise pedos, they still exist, and it is your job as a parent to protect them from that. Somebody wrote back saying, what's wrong with the way she's dressed? Maybe pedos need to learn how to not be disgusting. And to that I responded, it doesn't work like that. Or it doesn't work that way. We can't eradicate pedos from the earth. You can't always tell who is a pedo. For that reason alone, there is no excuse to dress your daughter, and this is where it gets a little harsh, and I probably shouldn't have said this. There is no excuse to dress your daughter like a streetwalker. None. Zero. And I took a screenshot of the picture and what that the person who shared it said, and then I took a picture of my comments, and I posted it on my own page. And that is where everything just went to shit. I support every woman's right, like children's rights. I hate hearing all the news stories of people getting hurt and abused, whether they're adults or children. I have nothing against sex workers. In fact, I can make a whole video on that later. But these people were ripping me apart. They were saying I was the one sexualizing her because I saw something wrong with the way she was dressed. I had people tell me, oh, well, pedos would be after her even if she was fully dressed. And yes, that's true. That is absolutely true. 100%. But let's look at this from a different place. If a man is in a fully, a room full of women, he is most likely, like, there can be this, like, sweet girl next door, but he's most likely gonna put his eyes on the girl with the low-cut shirt and the booty shorts, and that's just how it is. That's how men's brains are wired, at least most of them. There's many men in the world who do have self-respect, but still, like, that's what their ideal picture is gonna be. And and pedos, they think the same way. Of course they could still attack a child who is like fully dressed or wearing whatever. But my point is she is dressed like an adult, wearing clothes that an adult would wear, specifically designed to draw a certain type of attention. And people are tearing me apart. They're saying, oh, there is nothing wrong with the way she's dressed. You're the one being a creep. Like, what is wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah. And it blows my mind. It just blows my mind how people are thinking nowadays. Like, I remember when I was young. And, I have a brother and I have a sister. And until we reached a certain age, if we were something inappropriate, our parents, rightfully so, said, you can't go out in that, change your top or put on longer pants or, and that is what a parent is supposed to do. Because unfortunately, we live in a world that has creeps. Pedos, rapists, whatever. We live in a world that has creeps. And we can't change those creeps. Like, those things are ingrained within them. It's they can learn to not do those things, but those thoughts and feelings are still going to be there. And do you really want like someone who may be a pedo, like, having an excuse to stare at your children? I am being told that I am slut shaming this little girl, that I am victim blaming, and I am doing nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. Like, I believe that if you're an adult, you should be allowed to wear whatever you want, as long as you have a means to protect yourself, because that's the world we live in. Either dress in a way that doesn't draw attention, or wear whatever you want, but have something to protect yourself. Just pepper spray, learn self-defense, carry a knife, carry a taser, whatever. That's the world we live in, and it's sad, but it's just how it is. I mean, when I was a child, I was given explicit instructions on how to keep myself safe and, like, avoid being potentially harmed. And it was drilled into my head ever since I was a little kid. And I remember these things. Because they are important to tell your child. They are important to tell your kid. And as long as we live in a world with these kind of people, and that's just how it has to be. I am not saying there's anything wrong with this little girl. She's a fine, innocent child. It's the way her parents chose to dress her is wrong. No parent should be dressing their child like with ripped up jeans, a bandana top, and big hoop earrings. It just shouldn't. That's what adults should wear. And if we take sexuality out of the equation for a second, we have, like, other ways of dressing that draw attention. Like, for as long as I can remember, I have dressed, in ways that people look as kind of weird. And the older I get, the more outlandish I get, because it is my right to do so. And I like expressing myself in wild ways. And I've gotten all sorts of attention. I've had people telling me they like the way I look. I've had people be like, make sexually explicit comments toward me. I've had people call me a freak. But I go out in the world knowing that even though people shouldn't behave that way, I live in a world where people do behave that way. And it is my responsibility to protect myself from those people. Even though they shouldn't, judge me for the way I dress or want to prey on me for the way I dress, they're still going to, because that is what's going on in their head, and you can't change what's going on in a person's head. You just cannot. So I make sure I always have pepper spray and a knife at all times. And I know that can't protect me from everything, but it gives me a level of security knowing that at least I have something that could potentially help me out of a dangerous situation. And like I mentioned before, there is nothing wrong with a child who is put in a position where their parents dress them a certain way, whether the parents think it's cute or, whether they're a pageant kid, with their face plastered with makeup, wearing these outlandish outfits. That's not on the child, that's on the parent. There's nothing wrong with the sweet little kid. It's what the parent is doing to that kid. It's not right. And for anybody to defend that, it just blows my mind. I mean, if you are a social justice warrior, in my opinion, you shouldn't. You shouldn't support parents taking advantage of their kids in that way. I believe that what the parents are doing isn't right. They're making their child an easier target, especially when they post those pictures online, because as you can see here, people have been sharing this photo on Facebook. They took this picture of this child and have been sharing it on Facebook. So if you post something online, it's going to be there forever. And, people are going to share that photo if they feel like they should. It could end up in the hands of a creep, regardless of how your child is dressed, you shouldn't be posting pictures of them online. At least, in a certain way, okay, if you're at the park with your child, whatever, but just having your child pose for a camera, I just can't even. It's just so wrong to me. And something I mentioned in one of my comments, what I forgot to say, someone took this post, the post I made, and they shared it on their page, trying to say there was something wrong with me, and that I was a pedo apologist, and I was, I fucking hate, sex workers and all this shit, and that I'm victim blaming and blah blah blah. Fortunately, their post was deleted by Facebook, but I did, before it was deleted, I made a comment saying, look at pedos and rapists like COVID-19. You can't always tell who has it. You can't always tell by looking at someone, oh, this person might be sick. So therefore, we need to wear the masks to keep ourselves safe from the people who might have the disease. And that is my point. Dress in a way, and address your children in a way that doesn't draw attention from people, or for people who might potentially want to harm you or them. And that's just my strict rules when it comes to children. But if you're an adult, either dress in a way that doesn't draw attention, or if you want to dress however the fuck you want, find a way to protect yourself. or at least have some level of security. That is on you. It's unfortunate. Like, pedos should stop, and rapists should stop raping, but it's not gonna be like that. It's we can't just get rid of these people. They're not just gonna disappear one day. It's ingrained in their minds. Like I said, even if they learn to suppress their urges, their thoughts are always gonna be there. So it's on you to keep yourself safe, and if you're a parent, it's on you to keep your child safe. And yeah, as people mentioned, oh, well, they could want to rape the child even if the child is fully dressed. Okay, yeah, that is absolutely true, but dressing them like an adult makes them an easier target, and posting pictures of them online that gets, obviously by this post, gets spread across the internet. Just think. Just think. There is nothing wrong with me, for my opinion. There is nothing wrong with me. I'm not the one who is sexualizing children. I'm not victim blaming. I'm not slut shaming. I'm not, against sex workers. In fact, like I said, I'm going to make a whole video about that. I am just trying to use logic. If someone touches you or hurts you in any way, you or your child, whether you're dressed, in a way that could be considered risque, or if you're fully dressed, that is not your fault. That is absolutely not your fault. Like, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. If someone hurts you or your child, it isn't your fault. It is the fault of the perpetrator who hurt you. But unfortunately, it is the truth that with certain ways of dress, we become an easier target. Where I was staying for a while, when I would go for walks or have to go run errands to the store, I had to walk. I don't drive, and the stores weren't very far away, so I'd have to walk. And twice in 1 week, I had people trying to creep on me. I had this one guy, trying to get my attention and, see if I wanted to hang out with him. And then I had this other guy follow me in his car. And it's because I stand out. And I know it's because I stand out. I don't see those people hollering at, fucking chicks wearing sweaters and, and I'm not saying that they won't, but I'm saying I know I was targeted because I stand out. So, honestly, I could go on much longer, but I'm just so upset that I'm being targeted and blamed for my opinions that I believe are correct because I want to protect these children, and some parents are making their kids an easy target. Should the kid be allowed to wear whatever? Yes, but we live in a world where wearing whatever can make you a target, and that's just how it is. So this is my opinion. Take it or leave it. Watch this video, blah blah blah, all that crap. See you in the next video if you don't end up hating me. Bye for now.